But from 1941 until 1945, it was a place of terror. Because the bank was run by the Japanese, Yokohama Specie Bank, it was called, and the Ipoh Club was the Japanese laundry. And they actually chopped up the bar called the long bar, which was one tree the full length of the building. They chopped it up for firewood. Coming around again to St. Michael's, that became the administration headquarters of the Japanese in Ipoh. So, this was a very Japanese area from 1941. Just before Christmas 1941, we saw the beaten, battered British troops retreating from the Japanese, crossing this Padang and going to stay for 3 days in the St. Michael's institution. They went there to gather their senses, be getting new equipment, and form a new group of soldiers called the 1st Battalion. On Christmas Day of 1941, they left here and went to Kampar, where they were going to stop the Japanese at all costs. Just 3 days later, the Japanese walked into Ipoh with absolutely no defense. Most of the people had run away, there was nobody around, and much of the city had been bombed, so it wasn't a very pleasant place to be. The Japanese set up their businesses here, and every morning throughout the time they were here, at 8 o'clock, all these Japanese wearing white suits would muster out here in front of St. Michael's, and they would do their morning exercise, and they would bow to the Emperor 3 times. But later in the day, the whole scene changed, because the white suits became khaki, the soldiers were. And the soldiers did something we call suk-chin. You know what suk-chin is? It's the Japanese for purification. They wanted to purify those Chinese who they believed were against them. And so they would line all the Chinese up. They would just go around and say, you and you and you and you, and they'd bring you here, and they would line them all up. And then one of two things would happen. The most ghastly was the informer, who'd be wearing a black hood, and he was probably Chinese. And he would go along and he would tap you on the shoulder. And when he did, you were pulled aside and made to kneel in front of the others. When he'd done his work, you're kneeling out the front, out comes the sword, and off comes the heads. Right here, through 1941, end of 41, 42, 43, 44. A regular occurrence. What do they do with the heads? They put them on poles, and they carry them around the town, and they put them up wherever they could find a space. So in the market, there would be heads staring at you when you were buying whatever you could buy during the war. There used to be a fountain, E.W. Birch fountain in Little India, which had 4 spikes around it. There was always 4 heads on there. An old man who lives here today remembers those heads, and it was very hard to get him to talk about it. But when he talked about it, he told me he would run past those heads, but on a bad day, a Japanese soldier would stop him. He would have to bow to the Japanese soldier, and the soldier would turn around and make him bow to those heads. He was terrible. It was not much fun. But the other suk-chin that took place here, in some ways, was worse for families, because every second one in the line would be sent to the death railway. You just went forward and they gave you a card. If it said go, you went to one side. If there was nothing on it, you went to the other side. The other side went home, everybody would go, went straight to the railway station, into the wagons, the goods wagons, and were taken to Thailand to build the railway. These were difficult times. Now, the Japanese left their mark here. They left their mark in the way of memories, but also we believe ghosts. Because St. Michael's alone has 3 ghost stories. Can you imagine 2 guards in the middle of the night at St. Michael's? They look out, and what do they see? A platoon of Japanese soldiers with no heads. And then, if you go into St. Michael's late at night and you stand there quietly, you're likely to see a shadow walk up the stairs. Where's that shadow going? It's probably going to the 4th floor, because on the 4th floor there is a Christian chapel. And on the 4th floor is where the Christian brothers live. And if you go to that chapel early in the morning, you're going to find a black figure sitting there, facing the door where the brothers live. There's only one trouble, he doesn't have any head, just a bleeding stump. You fancy going to St. Michael's tomorrow morning? So, that is what we have here. We have a lot of memories, a lot of bad memories, a lot of nasty memories. But today, let's hope that that never happens again. Now, I don't know what you think about the weather. Did they get any raincoats? They've got raincoats? Yeah. Because we're going to move from here down to, as you can see, along there.